Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. There is another humiliation on the cards for Nicola Sturgeon. Apart from the possible involvement of the police investigation over COVID, it turns out that she will have no official capacity or any function at Winnie Ewing's funeral. However, Alex Salmond will. That is going to break her tiny little heart. It's going to be fun to watch. Will she even bother turning up now? Because if it isn't all about her, she's not interested, is she? Well, this is not about her. This is about Winnie, and she will have to sit there and smile and be gracious. And through her tiny little grating teeth, watch as Alex Salmond gets up and delivers a eulogy. It's going to burn, isn't it, Nicola? It's going to burn. Let's take a quick look at this piece just to see why she's being so humiliated. And it is fantastic, but I don't think it'll be the last one. Here goes. So there we are. No official role for Nicola Sturgeon at the Winnie Ewing Memorial Service, although undoubtedly she'll be foisting herself in front of the cameras at every available opportunity. She did a very similar thing at the G7, which was standing astride with all these important people, and she kept going up and meeting them, getting handshakes, and making sure that the official photographer was getting pictures of her, even though she wasn't allowed in the room. She's just one of those, it's all about me, isn't it, Nicola? Well, it's all about you soon when the police come and knocking on your door. Anyway, we'll look at this. So, Nicola Sturgeon will have no official role at Winnie Ewing's memorial service, the Herald can reveal. Instead, Alex Salmond, the former First Minister and Alaba leader, will deliver the eulogy to the SNP icon at a memorial service organised by her family. And that is going to so great. That is going to be such an irritation for Sturgeon, because she for so long was the SNP. You know, everything she said and done was the SNP. And apparently Winnie Ewing couldn't stand her. So it's probably something in the will. On no account let that woman have any role in my service. Although her son, he can't stand her either, to be fair. Anyway, the former SNP leader was selected for a central role in the ceremony as the party leader who knew Mrs Ewing best. Relatives have said, according to a report this morning, Miss Sturgeon was arrested last month by police investigating the SNP's finances as part of the long-running Operation Branchform. And there's another reason you don't want a criminal delivering a eulogy. Her arrest followed that of her husband Peter Murrell and former party treasurer Colin Beattie, blah blah blah. Anyway, we know all about that. Asked if Miss Sturgeon would have a role at the memorial service, a source close to the Ewing family told the Herald no official role. Because they don't really want her there at all, but they understand how she has to be for the optics. The former First Minister was among many people across the Scottish politics to pay tribute to Miss Ewing after her passing on June the 21st, aged 93, was announced last month. She wrote on Twitter, "Heartbroken by this news, I can't begin to convey the depth of gratitude I feel for the advice, wisdom, encouragement and inspiration of Winnie gave me and so many others over the years. She was a master of the art of campaigning. It was a privilege to learn from her." What did you learn from her? You didn't learn anything from her. She was respected, liked. She listened to people. You never did that, so I don't know what you thought you learned. Anyway, today she said Scotland has lost one of her foremost patriots and champions. The SNP and the independence movement have lost a beloved icon, and Fergus, Annabelle and Terry have lost their mum. My condolences to them and the wider family. Thank you, Madam Ikos. She's full of shit. She probably had some flunky write that, because she's quite incapable of saying anything so filled with humanity. There's no way she'd have run that. She'd have gone, oh, this will be an opportunity to push for independence. That would have been her first thought. No soul. Nothing to her. Anyway. Stop the world. Scotland wants to get on. Winnie Ewing, MP, MEP, MSP, our beloved Madam Ecos, did more than anyone to internationalise the independence movement and make it outward-looking force we are today. She went on to say, straight away, the death of a woman, she had to push in the independence. That's the measure of Nicola Sturgeon. Independence at every single opportunity. Among those paying tribute at the service will be Alex Neil, the former Health Secretary, who was an arch critic of the SNP's direction under Miss Sturgeon. And he's joining a growing club, it may be said. Humza Yousaf, First Minister, and Kate Forbes, whom he defeated in the leadership race in March, have been invited to give readings, while Holyrood's presiding officer Alison Johnson will deliver a prayer, the Times reports, but there will be no role for the Sturge. Miss Ewing was elected to the House of Commons in the 1967 Hamilton by-election and served as president of the party from 1987 to 2005. There's just a little piece there which we've covered in a previous video. Mr Salmond's prominence in the service has believed to have raised eyebrows among some SNP politicians who blame him for stoking divisions after quitting to set up the Alba party. One MS, well, you should have thought of that before you just basically left him to his own devices after the allegations and didn't rally round him. It's no wonder he didn't stay. You've brought that on yourselves. Anyway, one MSP told the Times, not everyone will understand or agree with the choice, but this is a decision for the family to make. It's got nothing to do with anyone outside of the family. That's it. And Winnie and him got on. She's probably got that in the will that she'd like him to give the eulogy. That's got... Whoa, we disagree with your choices, dead Winnie Ewing. What the hell is up with these people? Winnie didn't like Sturgeon, and that was that. There's no way. Anyway, Mr Neil said, Winnie Ewing is an outstanding figure in the modern history of Scotland who kick-started what became the ascendancy of the independence movement. It's hardly ascendant when you never got above 50%. As the oldest qualified member, it was Mrs Ewing's duty to preside over the opening of the Scottish Parliament in 1999. And I remember this speech as well. A session she opened with this statement. The Scottish Parliament, adjourned on the 25th day of March in the year 1707, is hereby reconvened. A lovely way to reintroduce the party. You see, she was a very respectful woman. She respected other people's views and she listened. She wasn't... I mean, she was forthright, but she wasn't arrogant. Unlike every with no exceptions, I think, no SNP leader since has lacked the arrogance, and some more than others, it must be said. But while she was respected, nobody respects Sturgeon, and in fact Sturgeon is now a spent force, and the only people protecting her are that last final cabal. It's almost like the Reichstag in 1945, isn't it? The Russians are closing in, and they've all got down in their bunker mentality, trying to protect, Nicola Sturgeon, the Fuhrer of Scotland. Why are they still protecting her? She's not coming back. She is losing influence, and it's very likely soon she could well be going to jail. So it's a very weird thing. Anyway, it's just very nice and refreshing to see that even in her passing, Winnie Ewing could deliver a cutting blow to the worst person to ever be the SNP leader. And there she is. And she'll be bitter. She'll have a wee pinched face, won't she? She'll be like that. Like that. Face like a dog's bottom. Anyway, I'm running off and coming up. Thank you, Winnie. You've just made my day by making sure that Sturgeon has to turn up, because otherwise it will look awful. However, she will just sit there and be a nobody in the crowd, because that's all she's going to be from now on, a nobody in the crowd. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You've given us one last moment of pleasure. Thanks. And I shall finish there, and thank Winnie Ewing for that. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, not all politicians are entirely bad. Some of them have a few redeeming features. Not Nicola Sturgeon, though. There's nothing there. Bye.